Well, hasn't it been an age? Big call out at the start. This is going out completely unedited. No wee jingle at the start, no wee jingle at the end. I am literally just going to stick this in my visor because I'm about to start driving, and I'm going to record my podcast as we go. Much to the disappointment of Mr. Traffic Warden, because I'm just about to leave. So it has been a little bit of a while since my last podcast. It was back in October. We're now into January, but the Fit for 50 challenge has not stopped. Well, it had stopped, but it's back on with a vengeance. If I can get out of my car parking space. So I'm your host, Lee Phillips, with a little singy Lee Phillipsness to it. I hope you guys are well, and I hope you missed me. Or one of you's missed me. Let's see if I can get this thing to stay up there. Hopefully you can still hear me. Right, okay, what's been happening in the last 45 months since I did a podcast? I hear one of yous ask, none of yous ask. Well, since October, I missed the October camp because I was working both days and couldn't commit to it. But I had my name, and basically that kind of scuppered me a little bit. However, I did get invited back, so Coach Mark P would see me in action. That didn't go to plan, shall we say, and here's why. I was ill prepared. I've had so much time, pardon me, to get myself ready, and I let a lot of factors impact my progression, motivation. I'm tough on myself, but I just didn't give it my all. I was doing really, really well, and then I kind of gave up a bit. I was a bit, like, work-wise, things were slowing down, and the winter time was looking really bleak, which turned me into a negative mindset, that the world was against me and all that kind of stuff, and it got me pretty down, I'm not going to lie. And I managed to stop myself getting into the rut that I've been in the past, because that's a toxic place to be. I never want to be back in that place where I just give up, demotivated, and spend my whole time procrastinating it. And I was starting to procrastinate massively. I went to camp in the December, and I did all right. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I twinged my back on the Sunday. I did okay. I didn't embarrass myself. Fitness was nowhere near where it should have been. I was too heavy, but I had a good one-to-one chat with Coach Mark, and it gave him like my background, and just gave him some insight and stuff like that. Ultimately, I wasn't picked for the World Championship 50s team. However, I got some really good feedback from Mark, because I'm an undersized big, and for those of you that are not in the basketball world, big is your centre, that's your Shaquille O'Neals and all that kind of stuff. I'm only 6'4", in that position. I could be up against guys that are much, much taller, and there's guys in our team that are bigger and play that position, so it's well covered. He sees me playing a different position, so that became... I was disappointed, because if I didn't care, I wouldn't be disappointed, but I do care, because I want to be part of the programme, and I want to be part of these teams, whether it's the European Championships or the World Championships. I want to be on one of these teams. So rather than it being a slap in the face, nah, you can't do it, it's here's a challenge for you. Adjust, and which is really strange considering I'm turning 50, that I need to adjust my position, my playing position, to one that's less in the post inside kind of guy, playing maybe the 3 or the 4. So I'm now using that as a catalyst or a motivation for me to start working on improving my shooting from slightly different locations on the floor. But for that I need to be a lot fitter and a lot quicker on my feet, because I've been marking people that are going to be fast, are a lot faster than I am at the moment. So I haven't played any competitive basketball since then. It took me about a week or so to get over the back injury. I missed a game. I coached one of the games, but we'll not go into that. That was a bit of a disaster. Suffice to say, I won't be coaching again. Personal choice. But what I did find was that we ran into Christmas, and I'll not lie, over Christmas I did what I wanted, to my detriment in a certain extent. I had a great Christmas. It was chilled. I started building a gazebo. I bought a gazebo for the back garden. This 6 metre by 3 metre beast of a gazebo. It's a big wooden structure. It came in about 65 million parts, and it was like literally rebuilding a Brachiosaurus skeleton from scratch, but in the shape of a gazebo. I got almost to the point where it was going to be ready for Christmas, or the Christmas period for folks, but turns out there was 2 pieces missing. They'd sent the 2 wrong bits. So I ended up having to MacGyver the roof with tarpaulin over the Christmas period so that we could still use it, even though it wasn't always the weather for it. But you know something, it looked great. The pieces arrived in the new year. It's now built. Just got a couple of little finishing touches to do to it, but I am super happy with it. It's going to be a great space for me to barbecue and entertain the world, entertain the masses. Subscriber giveaway might be a barbecue session, who knows. Anyway, come the new year, I stepped on the scales and was appalled but also not surprised to see that my weight had gone up to 20 stone 6 over the Christmas period. But I ate and drank what I wanted when I wanted. I did very little exercise. Household was riddled with the cold and flu. So there was a couple of times, there was about a week where I wasn't feeling my best, which when you're not feeling well, you comfort eat. So like a beer for breakfast with 6 Quality Street isn't unheard of. Didn't track anything, hardly had any protein. Anyway, that you get the point. But stepping in those scales made me realise that I had 170 something days to my birthday, and was I doing myself any favours by being that weight? Answer was a fuck. So I set myself in motion, as in straight off the bat, no alcohol to my birthday, June 23rd, so you can get your cards and stuff ready. The big 5-0. Fit for 50 is back on in full effect. So I have tracked every single day. This will be day 18 today. I have tracked for the last 18 days. I have tracked my food with 2,400 calories a day and a minimum of 160 grams of protein every single day. And with the exception of one day, I have been above 160. I think I was about 137 one day. I have been under my calories every day. Sometimes it's 24, sometimes it's 95. Last night was 355. I'm a lot more active. I'm getting out and getting my walks in to get my steps in. I'm trying to not be as stationary at my desk. If I'm editing, I'm up and about. Still working on the procrastination. There's some times where I'm feeling a wee bit lazy that way. However, I'm a lot more active. I'm in the gym. I'm just on my way back from the gym today from another monster session. It was brilliant. A great workout, upper body stuff. I was actually managing to do press-ups, like actual big boy press-ups for a change, that's unheard of, I'll have you know. I felt great. I'm drinking loads of water. I took my whiteboard and I literally scrubbed it clean and started a brand new one, because last year I just changed 2023 to 2024 and a couple of minor adjustments, and that's shite, because I didn't do it in 2023, I didn't do it in 2024, so I was like, right, now let's reevaluate this whiteboard. So took off all the bits and pieces on there that I didn't need, wiped it clean and started afresh, and one of them is stop procrastinating. Don't just talk about it, get the work done. It won't do itself and it'll just build up. I did have in the back of mind that I was worried about how many bookings I had, but a mindset shift was, you've still got bookings, so let's stop being negative about it. Let's stop moaning, oh, I'm not busy enough and all that pish. Get that out of your head and start being positive. It's like, I've got a good number of bookings already secured. Of course I could be busier, but can't we all? And this month alone, even in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, I have brought in 4 bookings, 3 for this year and 1 for next year, and it's been brilliant. I'm really chuffed with that, because obviously you're getting money in for the deposits, which is good for the bank balance, but I think when you're not getting bookings and you hear about everybody else, oh, I've got so many bookings in this, and you think to yourself, what am I doing wrong? So you start to question everything, and I think that's a major thing for me, is like, you start that whole self-doubt route, and you think, oh, do people not like my stuff? Do they not like me? And you start to just overanalyze, and it's pish. And maybe it's just people aren't at that point wanting to book. I did introduce a brand new package. It's lower down in the price range than my other 2 packages, but that's okay, because it's a smaller package. There's less to the package. It's a very good value for money package, but it may attract more interest. I've got a bunch of wedding fairs booked in, and new ones that I haven't been to for a while. So I'm at West Brewery, I'm at Murrayfield, I'm at a new one called Wee Wild Weddings, I'm at Scottish Wedding Unconvention at Drygate, and they're doing one in Edinburgh, so I'm doing one there. I'm at Turnberry. I was going to call it Turnberry, but we'll not talk about that fucking balloon. But I'm at Turnberry as well. So the diary's pretty full as far as getting my face, my name, my brand and everything out there. And here's hoping that I've been in chats with Kennett Watches as well about getting him involved in putting together a bride and groom, or a groom or bride, depending on what your preferences are, watch collection, the perfect gift for your other half. He's got some really good watches just about to come on the market, so he's going to be hopefully teaming up with me at some of the events, with a view to actually exhibit himself, not himself, but he would exhibit his brand himself, you know what I mean. But that's a good collaboration. I'm going to be wearing his watch that I've got, the Solar Explorer. I'll be wearing that at the shows, I'll be wearing it at weddings, showing it off, trying to get folk going, oh, I like your watch, big man. Hiding my own watch in my sporran, so I still get my steps. But yeah, I've went from being quite negative, and I hate to use the word depressed, but I was pretty depressed about a bunch of stuff. and was starting to go down that whole I can't give a fuck and don't want to speak to anyone and don't want to do anything route. And I dragged myself away from that, because it's like when the coal drops out the fire, you want to pick it up, but you know you'll burn yourself, but you keep going to try and pick it up, and I just didn't want to do that. So everything is starting to look really, really good. 2025 is going to be an absolute fucking brilliant year. I hope it's going to be awesome for you guys, whatever your plans are. I'm going into hospital next week to get a lump cut out my leg. So that's going to mildly inhibit some of my progress, as my leg will be stitched up, but I will still be getting workouts, and I just have to be a bit more careful. But this is something I cannot wait for. It's been giving me jip for ages, and hopefully this should be the end of it. Fingers goddamn crossed. But anyway, guys, look, I am almost home. You'll be happy to hear this is almost the end of the podcast. There's going to be no fancy outro today. It's just going to be me signing off. I'm just going to upload this straight to the platforms, see how it goes, and hopefully somebody's going to let me out. There we go. Good man. Thank you. And I appreciate you guys listening in. Like, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. All that fancy social media shit. Just stay safe. Friday's going to be a stinker of a day. If you're out and about in the west of Scotland or that area, just stay safe in whatever you do. Alright guys, I love you. Take it easy, and don't forget, clean your teeth.